even the MTI for me. It was the girls. Like, it was like, I need my space. I need my privacy. I'm ready to go. Hey girl, hey, it's your girl Jayla Allen, and today I will be talking about my basic training experience in the Air Force, what to expect, all those great things, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment down below if you have any questions or if you liked anything about this video, and let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to touch on why I joined the Air Force, what was my whole purpose, my whole reasoning for wanting to join the military overall. Basically, I joined the Air Force. It was a situation where I didn't know if I wanted to go to college, but the whole COVID thing, I just felt like I wouldn't get the full college experience. I just wanted more, and I felt like I deserved more, and college for me right now just wasn't it. So I was like, all right, I'm willing to travel. I want to make money right out of high school. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to the Air Force, so the recruiters were always at our school, trying to recruit people, trying to get people to join. So I talked to a recruiter and she got me up and running. I really knocked everything out pretty fast as far as MEPS and my medical stuff and paperwork. Only thing I was waiting for was to actually ship out, and that took a few months due to COVID. It took a while. I expected it to take longer, but things just happened so fast that it was faster than I thought it was. So the reason I joined is because I wanted something that was going to put me on the right road of success. And I felt like the military was going to give me the proper discipline. It was going to help me manage my money, just grow up, not necessarily fast, but help me mature faster. I was already mature, but I felt like it was just going to put the icing on the cake and just start me out on the right path versus going to college during the pandemic. I knew that, most of the classes weren't even going to be, physically there. Like, I was going to have to be on a laptop taking virtual classes. I just felt like I wasn't going to get the full college experience, and on top of that, I didn't want any debt. It was just so many reasons as to why I didn't go straight to college out of high school, and I just wanted a better alternative, and I felt like the Air Force was that for me, and it has satisfied those expectations that I had. So yes, that is why I joined the Air Force. So now I'm going to get into my basic training experience. The day I left for basic training was August 11th. So I was sitting at home for a while before I left to go to basic training, but I was working, getting things ready to leave because I knew I was leaving. I just didn't know when. But yeah, I left August 11th. Honestly, I was not nervous about basic training until later, until the day that I was actually about to ship out. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to go to the military. At first I was excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go to the military. This is exciting, all these things that, honey, it really didn't hit me until August 11th came. But yes, that day was the longest day of my life, actually. That was a very long day. I had to go back to MEPS, sign more paperwork. It was just so much, and the process just took all day to leave. Just waiting around, sitting around, being interviewed, just so much. And I honestly was just ready to go. My anxiety was real that day. So once I got to MEPS, I sat around for hours. I was probably there for 8 to 12 hours. Honestly, I don't remember. I just remember it being a long day. Then we finally got on this bus. They took us to the airport. Walked through the airport, finally got on the plane. When I landed in, I believe it was San Antonio, Lackland, that's when I knew, okay, it's getting real, because we get to Lackland, and I had also made a friend at MEPS. You know, I was talking to her the whole time, and she was from Atlanta, Georgia, just like me. So, you know, we clicked pretty fast. You know, we was like, girl, we really about to go to basic training together, da 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 da. So, yeah, so we finally get to Lackland, and there's all these there's a drill instructor who's checking us in, yelling at everyone, and then there's like her little helpers, you know, people who are telling us where to go. So that's when I kind of knew, like, it's real. Like, I'm really about to go to basic training. Like, I was like, all right, this is no longer a waiting game. Like, it's real. So we get on the bus, leaving the airport, headed to where basic training takes place. And it's just dark outside, because mind you, I have been at MEPS all day, so I didn't get into Texas Lackland until like maybe like 9-10 o'clock. Like, I was literally in the process of getting there all day. So we're on the bus, we're headed there. I believe basic training was a good maybe 30 minutes from the airport, if even that. And I was hoping that it would be a long drive, because the anxiety, baby girl. I wasn't ready. Like, I thought I was ready. I thought my head was in the game, but on that bus ride, I was like rethinking my whole decision. Like, okay, did I make the right decision? I don't know. I was just not ready. But yeah, so we finally get to the Lackland Air Force Base. Air Force Base, and I was so nervous, y'all. We finally pull up there at MTL. Some of you guys may not know what an MTL is. It's a military training instructor. One of them come on the bus. All the lights come on the bus, and we're all just like cockeyed, like, you know, looking like, oh my God. But MTI comes on the bus, and they're like, are you guys ready? Da, 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 you know, yelling at us, get your stuff, get off the bus. So we grab our things. Mind you, I had this big old duffel bag with the belongings that my recruiter told me to bring. Big mistake, because I didn't even need half of this stuff. But I get off the bus with my big bag, and we're running off the bus. They're telling us where to line up, and there's like a whole train of people, like an assembly line, just handing us all kind of stuff, briefing us on everything that we need to know. Everything was just moving so fast. I actually kind of blacked out a little bit. Like, I was just like a little robot telling them allowing them to tell me where to go. And they're just throwing stuff at us, and we're stuffing these backpacks, empty black backpacks, big backpacks, and hygiene products, notebook, pencils, pens, just all kind of knick-knack stuff. I didn't have any idea. I was just like, okay, what do I need to do next? So we finally get our stuff, getting yelled at the same time, and another drill instructor, or MTI, comes up to us, and he's like, come on, let's go, grab your stuff. So we're running up this big hill, all these girls, and we have luggage, just so much stuff. Everybody's just dropping everything. It was crazy, because I was like, okay, if I can't run up a hill with my bag, I can only imagine what I'm about to be like in PT. But yeah, so we finally get to where we're going, sit down underneath this called a atrium, and we're just waiting to be put into our dorms. And yeah, I sat there that day, y'all, and I was just praying to myself. Like, my eyes were wide open. But they handed us this book, and they were like, read this, study. And I'm like, what am I studying? Like, how can you expect me to study in this environment? Like, it's people yelling, it's just too much commotion. And honestly, I opened that book, y'all, and I just stared at the page, and I was just like, Lord, please, please help me get through this. This is only the first day. Like, y'all, I wasn't ready, but I prayed, and I felt a little bit better. But this is just the first day. This was just the first night, and we finally get up to our dorm around maybe like hour and 30 minutes later. It's probably like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and we're in our dorm. Everybody's just trying to take a deep breath, because we just ran up like 3 flights of stairs just to get to the dorm. And we're, you know, sitting ourselves on the bed. Then another female drill instructor comes in, and she was a trip. She comes in yelling at us, and she's like, strip your clothes. And I looked at her like, strip? But yeah, so we stripped our clothes. I think that was the fastest I ever stripped my clothes for a bunch of females. And I was just like, what is this? She told us to strip our clothes, get in the shower, be showered within 5 minutes, and in the bed for lights out. I mean, it was already lights out, but we was getting there, arriving late. So, yes, that was weird. I had never showered with that many girls, ever. Never showered with a girl, period. 50 girls in one bathroom. That was overwhelming for me. But yes, that was my first day in basic training. It was horrible. Honestly, that's not even everything. Like, the rest is kind of like a blur to me, because I feel like the majority of the time I was there that night, I just blacked out. I just remember not being able to go straight to sleep because I couldn't believe that I was actually in basic training. Like, it was a situation where, like, wow, I'm really about to be in the military, like training to be in the military. But yeah, the first day was really a blur. First week really was a blur. So next I'm going to touch on, okay, so basic training, I went during COVID. So they kind of cut back on the amount of weeks that we would train for. I was only there for 7.5 weeks. I think it's usually like 8.5 weeks, but I was only there for 7.5 weeks. I think if I would have stretched it, they would have stretched it to 8.5. I wouldn't have made it. I'm just playing, but I was there for 7.5 weeks. What were some of my challenges, baby girl? The challenges in basic training. Some of the challenges I dealt with, okay, the girls. It was a lot of us. And honestly, I was the type of person that just stayed to myself, but it really was a lot of us. And that was enough within itself, because we kind of had a hard time working with one another. One thing about basic training, the military period, is all about unity. It's all about getting along, getting the job done. And we just had a hard time getting along. Like, it was just a lot of drama. But in the end, even though people still had their differences, we made it work, you know. But my biggest challenge was the drama, the girls, you know, just being around 50 girls every day, showering, eating, sleeping, just 24/7. It can be nerve-wracking. So that was my biggest challenge. It wasn't even the MTI for me. It was the girls. Like, it was like, I need my space. I need my privacy. I'm ready to go. So now I'm going to touch on what PT was like. So, like I said, in basic training, everything was very repetitive. It's all about routine. It's all about structure. And they just want to see how hard you work, how hard you put yourself to the test, you know, and to see if you'll overcome whatever challenge they throw at you. So PT starts as a challenge. It all depends on how active you are, and how active you were before you joined the military. I really wasn't that active. I would work out from time to time, but I wasn't just, you know, hardcore working out. Like, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna see what it's like when I get there. But I wasn't completely out of shape. They kind of built the workout routine to where it's easy for just about anyone to adjust to it if you apply yourself and if you work hard at it. So PT was really done every day from Monday to Friday. I mean, sometimes we would have appointments and we would miss PT, or if there was like inclement weather, we would miss PT, but majority of the time we had PT. And it wasn't like running every day. We had our PT run days, we had CITs, which is cardio interval training, and we had our we had a CIT, and anyways, I can't remember the other. It was like ab workouts, like overall ab workouts, arms, you know, all that good stuff. But it wasn't cardio. Yeah, so we had those days and we just alternated. So one day we would do like 30-minute runs and then we would stretch. Other days we would do like ab workouts, core, all that good stuff. And other days we would do CIT. So CIT was like cardio too. So we would run like 2 or 3 laps and we would like do jumping jacks, you know, other cardio workouts along with that. Honestly, I think I loved the CIT days. Those were the days I really like sweat the most. But PT wasn't that bad. PT gets better over time, and they make sure that you are PTing throughout the day as well. So we would do these drills called 1x3s, and you would do sit-ups, crunches, and you would do them 3 times a day. And you were timed on them to see what your max was, you know. So whatever your max sit-ups or push-ups were, you would take it and divide it by 3, and you would do that amount of sit-ups for like, I think it was like 30 seconds, and then you would stop, another 30 seconds, another 30 seconds, and so forth. But PT was not that bad. Anybody would be like, oh my God, what was the workouts like? This is the Air Force. I mean, not gonna say it's pretty chill, but it's not the Marines. So we are more about excellence and intelligence than we are about physical. I mean, but you know, you still have to be physically capable to do things, but the PT requirements aren't as strict. So staying hydrated. So this was another thing that they implemented into everything, that they reminded you of every second, every hour, is to stay hydrated. Like, our hydration schedule was very strict. I think we were supposed to drink, how could I forget this? I can't forget this. We were supposed to drink 3 to 4 water bottles per day. I can't remember, but they were serious about hydration. Like, I peed so much when I had to pee so bad when I first got there. Like, they're going to make you drink a lot of water. Like, the hydration schedule is real. And studying. So if you never studied, period, before you went to the Air Force, if you didn't study for the ASVAB, if you didn't study in high school, college before, you're going to study in basic training, because they want you to know the history of the Air Force. They want you to know the rank in the Air Force. They want you to know rules, regulations, dress and appearance, just overall respect, you know, for higher ups, supervisors, officers. They want you to know all of those things, so that when you get out into the fleet or go operational, it's not, you know, oh my God, I don't know what to say, what to do, proper greetings. They want you to be aware. And yes, so those are 3 of the main things that we did: was study, stay hydrated, and PT. We PT when you get in trouble, when somebody else does something, and, you know, the whole flight has to be held accountable for it. So everybody's gonna PT if that's what the MTI decides for y'all to do. And I hated that, because I don't like taking responsibility for other people's actions. So that was something I was just like, I don't know about this, but it was just basic training, because they want y'all to understand the importance of unity and being uniform and the sisterhood. It all meshes together, so it makes you see things differently. I promise you, the military has changed my perspective on a lot of things, and it makes you appreciate the small things in life, because when you're away from your family, and this might not be the same for others, like, this was just my personal experience, it made me value things. Like, we got a phone call, I believe, like once a week, but that was due to COVID, and they wanted to make sure that our family knew what was going on. You know, we were still healthy, we were still fine, you know, and I was very appreciative for that phone call. And it just made you look forward to a phone call, because before basic training, you're on your phone 24/7, Snapchat, Instagram, doing whatever, calling whoever. But when you're isolated like that, and all you have is just the people around you, you look forward to that phone call. You value that phone call. You know, you value your family. It definitely makes you see things differently. What were the MTIs like, excuse me? The drill instructors, they weren't that bad. I felt like it was gonna be worse than what it was, but they weren't that bad. You had your few, and they weren't even my assigned MTIs. You had your MTIs who were from a whole nother flight, was over a whole nother, you know, group of people, would come into our dorm yelling at us. Like, who told you you could do that? But yeah, the MCIs weren't that bad. They were pretty chill. I mean, if you did what you were supposed to do, like me, I stayed out of the way. I think I got yelled at one time, and I think because I was moving too slow, doing something, but I just got quickly yelled at, and I was just like not even paying attention to them. Like, but I stayed out of the way. It was no yelling at me because I was really not even trying to be seen. But I just did what I was supposed to do. I didn't really get yelled at. I feel like other people probably had a bigger issue with getting yelled at by MCIs than I did, because I really didn't have a problem. But yeah, MCIs were not that bad. And it was COVID, so they were big on the whole keep your mask over your face, 6 feet distance whole thing. That was right up my alley, because I didn't want nobody yelling in my face, spitting in my face anyway. You know, I don't want to smell your breath. But yeah, I was like, the MCIs were not that bad. I stayed to myself anyway, so they didn't really have much to say to me. I just did what I was supposed to do. Okay, so how did I stay motivated throughout basic training? I stayed motivated. What motivated me to keep going every day, because it got hard. Like, I say the first week or two was the hardest for me, being away from my family for the first time that long. Just adjusting to a different environment, a different lifestyle. It was different, but after about the 4th or 5th week, I was like, all right, we almost there. I can get through this. I just prayed. You know, I knew God was by my side. I knew he had my best interest, and I knew what I wanted to do with my life and still want to do with my life. I want to be successful, and I want the greater things in life. So I told myself, like, okay, Jayla, this is only temporary. You know, it was 7.5 weeks. It felt like 30 weeks, but it was temporary. I mean, it eventually came to an end, and I just had to tell myself, like, you're gonna graduate soon, you're gonna get through this, you know. And I had other people to uplift me, and I had to uplift others at times, you know. So, you know, I say God kept me motivated. You know, my future kept me motivated, and what I want out of life kept me motivated. So that was my motivation. Would I do it all over again? No, ma'am. I would not do it all over again. I don't know. Basic training just kind of puts you in a different mindset. You're in a mindset of trying to learn everything that you can about the military, about the Air Force, as fast as you can. And the pressure, like, honestly, no, I would not do it all over again. I just wouldn't, because I know I was under a lot of pressure and dealing with helping other people with drama, just cycles. Don't get me started on that. My cycle was not my friend. In basic training, I believe I was on my cycle for a good 3 weeks. That was not fun. No, I'm not even gonna get started on that. But yes, I don't think I would do it all over again. I'm just happy I got through. I'm happy I'm done, and now I'm currently in tech school. Just finished learning my AFSC, and I'm headed to Japan next week. Actually, my port call date got moved up. Initially was supposed to be leaving March 18th, but I'm out of here next Wednesday. And yes, I'm so happy. I am just excited for the future and what it has for me. God has been so good to me, and I give him all the glory, all the praise, all the honor, because he has brought me such a long way. And it's been so many times that I wanted to give up, so many times that I said I can't do this, so many times that I did not, I just felt like I couldn't make it. But it was definitely him who shined through me and has allowed me to make it this far, and it's going to allow me to make it even farther in life. And I'm just so happy to be able to bring you all along this journey. And yes, if you guys have any questions, if I didn't go in depth on something that you all may have wanted to know about, let me know. I'll be sure to answer those questions. Be mindful that I did go to basic training during COVID, so things may be changing up. I know COVID is, you know, still out, but They might be, you know, changing things back to the regular regulations, how they did basic training before, because it's not as big as it was. The pandemic isn't that bad anymore. But yes, thank you all for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below if there is anything that you would like to know. And yes, thank you guys for watching, and see ya.